Listen, we're the 29th chapter, we come all the way from West London, and you know what? You've probably been hearing some of our lyrics and thinking, these guys are kind of different. They've been talking about they don't do drugs, they don't do guns, they don't do gangs, they don't like girls shaking it. What do they do? What do they like? Who are they? Who are they? Well, actually, we're just a bunch of 4 young men, and our lives have been transformed. See, we became Christians at young ages. It means that we follow Jesus. And we just want to present a little bit of Jesus to you. We don't want it to be boring. We don't want it to feel like religion. We're not bashing you with the Bible right now. We just want to explain that we've had an experience with God. And He's changed our lives so much so that our lives could have been like that. We could have been doing all of those things and been unhappy and been lost and been on the road to destruction. But we found Jesus. He found us and changed us and enabled us to live life to the full. How many of you want to have life to the full? Does anyone want to have life to the full? Yeah, I don't want to have half-hearted life. I want to have it to the full.
Flesh the man God left his throne to walk this lowly son. Externally not extraordinary, but orderly in speech and thought. Age of 12, found teaching teachers in the temple courts. Mid-teens now, when he's facing the fears and pressure of adolescence. But whilst his peers are stressing, he looks to the Father for his blessings. It's impressive how he lives a faultless youth, already showing signs of proof. He is the way, the door, the light, the truth.
A little bit older now.
A carpenter well known in his hometown. Jesus of Galilee, baptized by John in the Jordan Sea. A voice spoke from heaven.
This is my son in whom I'm well pleased.
Just for our next stage of ministry at 30. They can't believe what they're seeing now.
He's doing healings now.
The blind see, the deaf hear, the lame regain
The feeling now.
He's quick to speak against hypocrisy and spiritual bureaucracy. He had no time for the Pharisees. They couldn't stand the light, and so they made a plot to take his life. 30 silver coins to crucify the Christ. Malmo, hey, for just 30 silver coins, we crucify the Christ.
Where the story gets a little ugly, a little grimy, but it was done for every single person here and in the world. Listen. Dizzy years being led to an open grave. Hundreds calling fists, venomous hatred pave his way. Spinning, shouting, unrestrained violence. He was stripped, whipped, but dignified in the silence. No objection, no defiance. Carrying the instrument that was execution, such was his compliance. Stumbling, tripping, flesh already open continues ripping. As the thorns burrow deeper into his head, the agony grows more intense with every step that he treads. All he sees is red, from the blood seeping out of his hair. Now he's there at the foot of his feet, laid out prostrate he waits as nails plunge into his flesh and sinews. The horror's only begun, the torture continues. He was hoisted high like a bloody flag of obscenity. Muscle spasm, bones disjoint. This was history's greatest tragedy. Darkness spares human eyes from watching his body contort in agony, as his spirit is tormented with every nightmare, fear and horrific happening. His breath shortens, the battle's fought begins to diminish. Looks out at you, his creation, his last gasp. It is finished.
Finished. Finished. Finished.
For you. For you. For you.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
Man, but the story didn't finish there, man. There's more, there's more. Man, but we need you guys to listen up. We got one more verse. Check it out. Tell him.
Pull the cross down, body bare, handle without care. Body's pale, body's cold, a sense of guilt lies in the air. Rough wood stained red from the blood that was shed. Limbs strained as the wrench from the hell that nailed him there.
In hell.
The Saviour's torture, but he still stands to preach. Covered between sounds of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Ultimate love displayed through most hellish of doom, while his body lies wrapped up in linen in a tomb.
But now he switches.
Through the darkness his body twitches, heart begins to beat as his muscle flinches. The earth quakes, the angel takes his place and rolls the stone out. The Roman guards start to shake with fear, but then they pass out. Like he already said, he had to be killed dead. Now was living and breathing instead, no more thorns in his head.
Hey yo,
the crucifixion was nasty, scary and bloody, but thanks be to Jesus who rose up and set us free.
Christian, right? Yeah. Här står med annan god medlem. De är så sköna och glada och positiva.
Jag står med Prince and go ask him, can you tell me about Jesus in your life? What did Jesus do in your life?
Well, I became a Christian when I was around about 12, and I kind of went through a bit of a funny childhood. My dad died when I was very young, and I have 4 brothers. And basically, my mum had a faith in Jesus, and I would see her day by day praying and seeking after him. And I saw the difference that made in her life, and I decided that I wanted to follow Jesus myself. So around about the age of 13, I made that decision, and I've just been trying to live it ever since. It's been hard. There have been some highs and there have been some lows. Sometimes it's been difficult. Sometimes it's felt a little more easy. But I've just tried to keep the faith. The Bible says that the race isn't for the quick or the strong, but to those who endure till the end. So my heart has just been to just endure for Jesus. I guess the 29th chapter, around about 15 years old, me and one of the guys, we've been rapping for a while, and God just began to challenge us. He said, if I've given you talents and skills, what are you going to do with them? And I really felt challenged by that. So we started using our gift. We started going into churches and into clubs, just rapping and trying to share our faith through that. Then we met some of the other guys and we formed this group called the 29th chapter. And now for the last 10 years, we've traveled around the UK, around Europe and some other places in the world, just sharing the gospel through our music. And our heart is to make the music speak the gospel in a way that people can understand. So make it simple, not speaking in complicated Christian language, but making it simple so that people can hear it and understand it, so that it can touch their hearts and so that their lives can be changed. So that is what we do. That's what the 29th chapter is about, and that's why I'm in it, to share Jesus in a way that young people can understand and get a hold of, so that it can transform their lives.
In Sweden we have many people who don't like Christianity. If you do something, and if you say something to Swedish Christians, what do you say that? What do you say?
I would say that, it's so important to, you need to explore, So many people, here in London we have a thing called hearsay. So, people hear something from somebody else and then they take it as truth. If I heard that you, Christian, somebody said to me, man, Christian, he can jump over 10 cars in one leap. He just ran and he jumped over 10 cars. I could just say, oh, that's nice. Or I could find you and say, show me, you jump and let me see it. And I think that for us, we would say that it's important that you don't just listen and follow the crowd, but you find out for yourself what Christianity is about, because it's not about rules and it's not about religion. It's not about, following something that's dead. It's about life. It's a way of life that is fulfilling, that will really make a difference, a positive difference. You might think that you are living, you might think that you've got it all, but trust me, unless you've got Jesus, you've got nothing. You could search for everything, you could search for every piece of gold, every treasure in the world, but until you find Jesus, you've not found anything. The Bible says one thing, it says, what good is it to gain the whole world but lose your spirit, to lose your soul, to lose what's inside? And I think that's something that people need to think about, so yeah, I don't know, that's what I'd say.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming here.
It's a pleasure, thank you.
Thanks. What do you think about this festival in Malmö?
Malmö, it's a really cool festival. It's great, that there's something that is put on that will bring people together, like, there can be, sometimes there's a lot of hatred, and there's a lot of division, and, sometimes white people and black people and people of different nationalities don't mix, but this is great because it allows people to come together and share a common interest in music. And I guess it's great for the church to be out here, to be a part of it, being salt, being light. If things like this aren't put on, then how will the church come out of the walls and impact and be a part of it? I think it's good. It's great. And the crowd were great. It was great to just, get on stage and, kind of get them on side. We had a real good time as well. And I think it's important sometimes as Christians that we show people that, you know, when we say Jesus came, that you could have life in abundance. But when they see us as Christians and we're, you know, give your life to Jesus. You know, what are they going to say? They're going to say they don't want a part of that. But when they see that we've got joy, we've got life, we love life, we love to have fun, we love to enjoy and be a part of culture. We're not saying we're not part of it, but we do it differently. So I think it's so important for the church to come out and be a part of that, not to be stuck behind the walls, but just to let your light shine. You know, that's what Jesus said. A city that's hidden on a hill, you know, a city that's on a hill can't be hidden, you know. So that's our heart.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.